You may be thinking that you clicked on the wrong video. Hey, I've already seen this butterfly knife. But no, you didn't click on the wrong one. I'm just bringing all the new viewers up to speed on the previous project. In an older video, I designed and printed this fully functional print-in-place butterfly knife. Once it's removed from the print bed, it's ready to fling around. Then, due to popular request, I made a different version of it as a trainer. It uses the same framework as the first one, but the blade is completely safetified with all rounded edges. And this is actually my first time printing this one, so let's just see how it works. So now there are these two versions, but it feels like there's still something missing. I decided to try and convert it into a spoon, and you'll never guess where the inspiration came from on this one. I figured why the heck not, a spoon and a knife go hand in hand, right? My initial thought was to avoid 3D printing altogether and just come up with a way to attach a plastic spoon to the blade, but the spoon won't conceal in this set of handles anyways. So I guess it's off to SolidWorks then to figure something out. I decided to start with the trainer butterfly knife done previously as a basis of design for this new one, since it ended up working so well the first time. And I started with modifying the blade into a spoon, since it's essentially the core of the model that everything else fits around. After some struggles with the actual spoon head shape, I was able to come up with this. It's quite a bit thicker than the thin, straight knife blade. I did make some other changes from the original blade design. First, since the spoon head is wider, I spaced the pins a little bit further apart as well. Probably only 1/8 of an inch or so, but it keeps everything proportional. Next, I increased the pin diameters by about 1/16 of an inch to add some overall strength to what hopefully becomes a functional spoon in the end. Then, as you can see here, the whole thickness increased at the hinge to accommodate the thicker bowl of the spoon. Since this spoon is thicker, I also had to increase the thickness of the handles. I kept a lot of the same features the other handle had, but you can see there are now also ovals instead of diamonds for quick identification, I guess. Yeah, the bowl of the spoon takes quite a bit of room up in the handles. So with this part being much thicker, it increases the area in contact with the build plate for hopefully less struggles with adhesion. Up to this point, I'd say I'm satisfied with how the design turned out on this one. I don't really know what I was expecting. I've never seen one of these before, but now I have. Before I get to printing this one, I just want to throw out here that this model will be posted for free to download at printables.com. Check out the rest of the models I've uploaded there too. You might find something else you like. Along with posting the model to Printables, I'm also going to post it to Thingiverse.com, where you can find the same models in step file format. And here I'm just looking back at the butterfly knives I posted on Printables. The original model drew 9,500 downloads, but not as impressive as what happened on Thingiverse. The original currently has over 45,000 downloads. Now that I got that out of the way, let's get going on the print and place spoon. I decided to use the last little bit from an older material spool I had laying around. Whoops, it looks like it stopped pushing out material. And I don't think there's supposed to be two ends showing on this spool. Yep, printing in thin air. This is great. I'm going to go ahead and cancel the print here. Well, that sucks. The hot nozzle just dropped right onto the part. Good job, Ender. And since I ran out of material, there's still a piece stuck in the Bowden tube that I have to remove. Then I'll have to remove this blue locking clip before I'm able to pull the tube out by pressing it inward, holding the lock collar, and then pulling the Bowden tube from the fitting. And there it is, just a quick pull on this material to remove it. I'll just get the tube back in place securely, insert this blue clip back in place for security, and I'm off to the races again. And I'm not looking at this print as a complete failure yet. This at least gives me a chance to review the design for print functionality up to this point. If any changes need to be made, I'd rather make them here. First off, let's see if it breaks free okay. There were some changes to the pin and hole sizes. I don't see why there would be any issues, but weirder things have happened. I also made it so the handle needs to be squeezed a little bit, which holds the blade, or now the spoon end, more rigidly. I feel like this aspect is a little bit stiff, but I don't see that it needs to stop the show for now. Well, so far so good. There's maybe a little bit more friction in the joints than what the knife had, but I think that with some continued use it'll just wear in. So after a quick filament swap, I got the next one going. Well, that's awesome. I feel like I've been in this position before. Kind of unexpected, but hey, it happens. At least it gives me another check that everything is still good to go. This one is nearly complete. It has most of the spoon's shape printed. With the longer handles, the preload doesn't seem so high, and it's easier to squeeze the whole thing tight. From here, I can also see that the handle doesn't seem as chunky as what I thought it might be. Aside from being a little bit stiff again, I'd say let's keep going. To ensure that this doesn't happen again, I'm just going to put some glue stick on here real quick. So, I have no words. The next morning I woke up to this, another incomplete print. It looks like the machine lost power somehow right after I went to bed. I'll just get another one going. Well, that's not good again. Another pull of shame. And this strikes me as kind of peculiar. This one failed at what seems to be the exact same point as last time. Real quick, just to feel how satisfying it is to open for the first time. But yeah, if I put this one next to the first one, it made it up to the exact same height. Exactly. I mean, it's literally the same layer. This isn't what I would expect from a random failure. The chances of that would be 1 in like 675 layers or something. If I put these next to the other random failures, it leads me to believe that this is an error in the slicing or G code. So I'm going to reslice it and resend it just to see how that works. Looks like I made it to the end this time. Awesome. It's nice to have a print completed for once. This one turned out pretty good. I think I know how it's going to work from the previous partial prints, but I still need to check it out. The handle preload is a little heavy still, but I think it'll be good. The bowl of the spoon looks good too when it finally prints in full. And look at that, it's a butterfly spoon. Let's get to flinging it in a quick test. This should fling around like the original knife, except with a spoon on the inside. But let's see how it goes. It still needs some working in on the joints, but so far it feels like the handle preload is working in just fine. I'd call this one a win. Just so I have a complete set of utensils designed, I decided to go with the last one that complements the knife and spoon. I mean, it's now or never, right? So I started off by lopping the spoon end off and just modeling the fork features into place. The model seemed to come out okay, but time will tell how the fork tines come out. A quick range of motion test, and boom, it's a fork. I used the same handles that the spoon had, but changed the cutouts for identification that there's a fork inside. It's now a complete set of models with a knife, spoon, and a fork. The fork and spoon are each a bit wider than the knife, but the same concept and similar functional design nonetheless. The fork and the spoon just need a bit more room between the handles. I guess I could have made a flattened spoon and fork, but this works, I think. Seeing all these come together like this actually feels pretty good. So enough lollygagging around, let's get it printed. So I had some concerns about the handle designs printing, but right off the bat I can see those came out okay. I'm able to get a glimpse of the fork tines through the end too. Let's get it broken apart to check it out fully. I don't want to pull on the fork tines to do this either. They seem strong, but I don't think they'd survive the force to break it apart. The pivoting parts literally have the same features as the spoon, but they're feeling a lot tighter on this one. Applying some force while rocking it back and forth should help relieve some of this friction. There must be something else going on with it too, because the handles don't come together as tightly either. Might have to work this one in a little bit. I like the slat type design on the handles too. They look really cool. And here it is again, the fork on the inside, and it's ready to be flung around. And just by rocking the parts against each other, the handle preload came out better as well. I can now squeeze it lightly and have the handles touch. I was nervous about this part when it first came off the printer. There it is, the whole utensil collection. If you like videos like this, there's certainly more to come, and please feel free to share it with your friends too. Or even better yet, go download the model yourself and print one to have fun with.